month, last day of the month. Amazing numbers. We're recording every day. All-time record users, obviously, record deposits. We are getting close to $300 million in the last 30 days of net deposits. So if you think about the numbers we used to have, I remember it took us like over a year just to get to 300 million. Now we're getting that every month. So obviously, again, a record new users, record deposits, record loans. Yesterday in a single day, we deployed over $150 million in loans, and still don't have enough coins. So you've seen us raise rates across the board on most things, adding new assets. We are adding comp. We're adding a few others. So it's coming in the next release. And you'll see some of the other coins in the coming soon. So if you want to know if your favorite is going to be there, download the app and take a look. It's all updated every week. So wanted to share with you a bunch of things that are happening, a lot of great news. The community launched sellswap.org. If you haven't visited it, we'll take a look at it later. We increased LTVs on XAUT, on Tether Gold, and on Pax Gold. So now you can borrow against these assets at up to 70%, or you can hodl and earn as high as, I think, 5-point-something% in sell on your gold, right? Or you can earn gold on gold if you're earning in kind, 4.5%. What else? Let's take a look. Biometrics, for those of you who haven't seen it, we've added this automated way to log in. So you do need to enable it. So if you have not used it, do your regular login at the top of the bar. Just accept the biometric, and then you'll be able to do that. Great news on the $1.50. I know a lot of people send questions about that. We had the vast majority of our employees has committed, I think it's like 98%. It's committed to a 3-year lockup. So everybody was worried about that 25 million cell token coming to market. Now you know that only 2.5 million cell token coming to market, because we agreed to pay, or we decided to pay 10% to the employees in cash, and the rest is locked up for 3 years. So we thought about how do we make this an attractive proposition for the community as well, and we decided to take that 2.5 million cell token that we're going to have to sell and sell it via OTC to our community at a 5% discount. So basically, or 5% bonus, basically. So if you email otc@celsius.network, you can buy directly from the company and effectively get 5% more sell than whatever the market price is. And this way, none of that, not just the 25 million are not going to market, but also the 2.5 million is only going to be sold directly to hodlers, or probably top 200 guys who already have some sell, who just want to increase their position, and they're going to get a bonus on top of it. So it's a win-win-win. And if you like that, it's first come, first served. And I hope that after we kind of clean through this, people will feel more comfortable about putting all those sell orders at $1.50 and $1.45 and all that stuff. But still, Celsius comes to market every week, buying record $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 worth of sell token every week. So no matter what, we're going to cleanse through that pretty quickly. And so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, the distribution is put out in a way that almost no tokens are going to hit the market from this bonus, and the employees are actually going to get money. Some, including myself, will use some of that to buy more cell token, but these tokens are going to be locked up for the next 3 years. So I think that's fantastic for incentivizing the team and for the long-term growth. And there's not going to be this deluge of selling come $1.50.
Yeah, I thought Zach is going to have a much bigger smile on his face, considering that big bonus that he's got. But I do want to put it in perspective, because it is a lot of money. We're talking about $37.5 million that the company gave employees. And when you ask yourself, you say, wait a second, I don't work for a company like that. No one has given me bonuses like this. Why is Celsius so generous? Why are they treating the employees so well? I mean, if you think about the fact that we have 100 employees, and by the way, it's not like I took half of the pool to myself. I used to run a public company, and I used to make 300 times more than the average employee, just like every other major CEO of a NASDAQ listed company, and I never felt that was right. And I said, the next company I'm creating, I'm going to make sure the rules are set differently. And what I can tell you, all of you, is that most of you worked for many, many companies in which you had zero impact on that system, right? You came at the bottom of the pyramid, you had to work your way up. It took you 5 or 10 years to join a certain level that actually got some compensation, but still you were far away from whatever the big shots, either at the executive suite or the CEO or the board, were making, right? But COVID changed all of that. The reason it's not what we're doing is because of COVID. As you know, we put the $1.50 into our white paper in 2017. So either we knew about COVID coming 3 years in advance, or we just cared for our employees from day one. But my point is that when you think about the shift, right? When you think about what's happened with COVID, employees now basically are telling their employer where they're going to work, what hours they're going to work, right? Are they going to come to the office or not? Are they going to work from the city that they used to live in? That's if the company is based in San Francisco and you want to move to Idaho and work from Idaho, most companies now accommodate you and they say, okay, fine, you can do it. So what happened really, there was a titanic shift of power from the company that used to control everything and tell you everything and so on, to the people, right? And again, we've seen this with the internet. We've seen this now with employment and work in general. The only industry where the shift has not happened is really in the banking business, right? Our relationship with our bank has not changed. Even COVID could not put a scratch on any of these banks or influence any of these banks to start acting in your best interest. So I just wanted to put the $1.50 in context and talk about that a little bit. So we managed to convince Simplex to lower the credit card rates. So for most of Europe now, if you're buying with a credit card, you'll pay less than 3%. It used to be 3.5%. So while Crypto.com and everybody else, if you buy on Coinbase, you're paying 6 to 7%, right? So we're now basically less than half of Coinbase. So never buy your coins with a credit card on Coinbase or Crypto.com. Celsius is the cheapest place, 2.99% or 0.1% with ACH and 0.5% with SEPA. Again, all these things are enabled in the app. You can just go buy coins. Again, if you're paying with SEPA, lowest rate in the world. There isn't anyone else. And again, it's not what we charge. We just pass along what the providers that we use charge, right? 0.1% for ACH is what we are being charged. But definitely a great place to buy your coins, whatever you need, right? One day left.
So what are the fees on self-swap going to be?
Yeah, so I'll get into it in a second when we look at the screens, because so one day left for the special loan promotion, right? So if you what's the promo code on it?
Treat.
So if you enter Treat and you take a loan for at least $500, you'll get $50. That's 10% of the loan we're giving you in cash, right? It's a no-brainer. Or if you take a $3,000 loan, you'll get $100. And one day left. It's not going to continue afterwards. People are like, Celsius always keeps these promo going. Not this time. It ends tomorrow. So go and get your loan and make sure you take advantage of this amazing promotion that we've done.
And then we're doing something for the UK members too, right? That weren't able to take a loan until recently.
Yeah, so the UK is opening, I think, Monday morning. All of the UK users, I know that we have like close to 200 people who are waiting for the UK to open. And the UK people specifically will be able to still benefit from this promo code because we had to finish the contract and all kind of other stuff, our fault. So you get to, so all these people who already applied will process your applications and you'll still get the benefit. Thank you. And sorry for making you wait. So again, use OTC. You can use it for anything. You don't have to buy just because we're doing a promo, whatever. Anytime you want to sell and you want to buy, sell a token, if you have more than $25,000, reach out to OTC at Celsius.network and we'll help you either buy or sell whatever you need. Again, from now on, you can also use sellswap.org or you can use Uniswap as usual, right? And we'll get into the details in a second. So what else? Let's see. So loans now, we have over 100 loans a day. I remember just not too long ago, we had like 20 or 30 loans a day. So it's definitely cranking up, and we're very happy to support people from over 150 countries who need, we're helping them with, many of them with 1% interest per year. So amazing stuff. Again, consistently adding over 1,000 new users a day. So again, you can see that in the app if you go to the community page and just do the math. Again, more users, more deposits. How much more sell does Celsius need to buy? Limited supply, remember, limited supply, right? If you saw my tweet, kind of comparing us a little bit to Bitcoin, if you have huge increase in users and they're all giving you more assets, but there's limited supply, the token will react as well. So when I was a boy, my dad taught me this expression of give a man a fish or teach him how to fish. If you teach him how to fish, obviously they will be able to be self-sufficient for the rest of their life. So part of what we try to do here is help you with teaching you how to fish, but it's even better not just to teach you how to fish, but actually give you sustainable fish and then teach you how to teach others about growing sustainable fish or growing sustainable income, which allows you to basically make this income, right? Make the money work for you for the rest of your life. I remember I showed you this coin some time ago, for those of you who remember, in blockchain we trust, right? The cell token, and it was 3, 4, 5 cents, and people are like, yeah, cell token, who cares? Well, now I think it's worth more than this thing, right? Yeah. So each cell is now worth more than $1, and I don't think we'll see $1 again anytime soon. So the reason it's doing better than $1 is obviously a lot to do with you guys, the community, supporting us and helping us and helping others, right? Taking loans, giving us your coins to manage. But even more than that, it's that limited supply, right? The limited supply, even though everybody claims they have limited supply, right? They keep dumping coins on you, right? The circulating supply keeps increasing. And again, Celsius, we're very, very proud to share with you at any time what's the circulating supply, where are the coins, who has them. And people get really, really nervous. Like recently when I gave my wife a gift, I didn't tell anybody I was giving her a gift. But they immediately went like crazy, like, Alex is selling, look, 15 million tokens just left. He must be dumping on the community. So I had to spill the beans and tell everybody what I did. And but the point is that these are not new coins. The 25 million tokens that were given employee, not new coins, right? Not new tokens. We've allocated them in 2017. So there's never going to be new coins or tokens being dumped on you without you suspecting it, right? And I gave you that warning. I showed you a few months ago, crypto.com. I showed you how their market cap increased much, much more than what your coin price increased, right? So CRO only increased 3 times, but the market cap increased 10 times. And that's all the coins that they own you. Because the gap between the two is how they finance their business, right? And Celsius doesn't do that. Again, if you look at the correlation between the price increase and the number of coin circulation, you'll see that it's 1-to-1, right? And that's what we want. We want to make sure that you, the community, benefit as much as possible, because I'm a large holder as well, and when you benefit, I benefit as well. So we're on the same side of the table with that. So again, let's not just have a fish. Let's not just learn how to fish, but let's teach others how to create a sustainable way to get to early retirement. And Zach is way on his way because I know he's not going to spend any of that money on anything stupid, right? So,
Yeah.
But
Something
another,
we were talking about in Telegram the other day was, your income can't grow by factors of 3, 4, 5, 6, 10x over time, but your assets can. And now that through Celsius, your income is derived from the value of your assets, and as those assets appreciate, so does your income in equal proportion. So that's a really huge advantage for
right,
us versus
right, and compounding interest is logarithmic increase, not linear increase. So definitely, you're definitely right. By the way, I wanted to show we have a bunch of people here today. So guys, say hi. This is our dev team doing work.
hello,
While
hello.
we're talking about the Celsius, these guys are actually doing real work, designing the next version of the system, right? Um, so what else? So I wanted to talk about accounting, and here we lost half of the people. Let's see, we have 709 viewers, right? Real live viewers. This is on YouTube, or right? What's
This
the
is
count?
this is YouTube, Twitter, Facebook.
Right, right. So the world of accounting was really, really simple, right? Basically, goods were either exchanged through barter or they were exchanged from one person to another for notes or for dollars. But then in 1492, Luca Pacioli, right? Luca Pacioli, I think his name is, invented double entry accounting, right? And I think that was in Venice, right? Or in where did he live? He lived in Italy for sure with a name like that,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So, but basically, he created double entry accounting, right? And what the blockchain did is really, and again, the world is using double entry accounting. Every public company, every set of books that has to do with any kind of sophisticated finances deals with double entry accounting. But the blockchain really created what we call triple entry accounting, right? So by you harnessing the open ledger and the public blockchain as a medium where everybody can share information, for the first time, a ledger is not something that is locked up to two people or represents two sides of a transaction, but actually can include infinite amount of participants, right? So anyone who is a participant on the blockchain can basically benefit from the ability to audit or verify any piece of information anywhere else. And that is really one of the main benefits of cryptocurrencies, right? Because basically you can verify how much money is in the system at any time. You see, today, like I mentioned in the last AMA, the Fed printed 20% more dollars and no one noticed. Not a single person kind of went and said, "Oh, I counted all the dollars and I saw an increase, and now I know my dollars worth less." Right?
Right.
You can't really do that. No one knows how many dollars are in circulation, how many of them disappeared, how many were seized, and so on, and how many are created by banks or anything like that. All of that is really impossible in a public blockchain that has an open ledger. And that's why the ability of any one of you to audit everything I'm saying on a cell token, or audit anything that's happening with Bitcoin or with Ethereum, is the differentiator, is what makes this special, is why you should take 10, 20 of your assets and put them into this type of non-correlated asset. Non-correlated meaning no one can print more cell, no one can print more Bitcoin, right? So I just wanted to touch on that because I know a lot of people are like, but I don't understand, how does that work, So again, we can get into all the technical stuff. There's plenty of YouTube videos that are doing much better job than me explaining to you what is the blockchain, explaining to you what's open ledger, and do a search for triple entry bookkeeping, so you can understand how all these pieces are connected, and kind of understand what the use case is, right? Because again, being able to audit the blockchain, the Bitcoin blockchain or the cell token blockchain, which is running on Ethereum, is an extremely important piece of the puzzle here. Okay, so let's see what else.
Something to talk about the LA Blockchain Summit. We really apologize for the delays. We're working hand in hand with eToro to get everyone credited. Again, apologize. It's taken a lot longer than we anticipated, but everyone who completed the process will be credited that $100 Bitcoin. So, I apologize, but we are working on it and going to get it cleared up as soon as possible.
Yep. And we're approaching 2 billion in AUM, right? So we're at like 1.9 or 1.92, depends where Bitcoin, Ethereum is. As they go up, we kind of get really, really close to 2 billion, and then they come down a little bit. But with 2 billion in AUM, Celsius is the second largest asset manager in crypto. Only Grayscale is larger than Celsius. So again, when you compare us to other people, or when you think about Celsius or someone else, Celsius with several $100 million on our balance sheet, just our assets, is 10 times bigger than anyone else in crypto. Again, BlockFi has probably something like 20 or 25 million in cash left on their balance sheet because they're burning cash every month, right? So Celsius has 20 times more money, more cash, our cash, than BlockFi, right? So when you think about, okay, well, I'm not sure, or I have my assets half and half, or I put them in 5 different places, or I'm going to keep some at some dinky exchange in this and that country, you have to really compare it to what I'm talking about. So I'm going to switch on the screen here. Zach is going to share it with you. Basically, again, if you go to sell token, right, and we have a lot of new updates. I'll share with you a lot of the updates that we've made to the site. Ryan has been working very hard on it. So we've added, you see Celsius, we've added how many tokens we have as a company, right? So just the tokens are now 442 million. And on top of that, we probably have something like 40 million in cash. I don't know the exact number, but between 35 and 40 million. So almost 500 million altogether. And again, you can still see all the top 200. Number 4 right now is my wife. I gave her a nice present for her special birthday. And it was lucky. I was lucky. Well, lucky. I didn't even know that Page 6 decided to pick up the story, the New York Post, and write a big story about it. So thank you, New York Post, for inviting more people to join Celsius Network. So also, because you're watching this, AMA, we have a special thing. Usually we give a special promo, a special things that we only give on the video. So I'll share with you a secret. We actually have a special promotion running, and there are 10 different prizes. I'll show you the first one. So the first one to grab it and answer the question. So you see anything, if you can find anything like, like this little tiny pumpkin here, and you click on it, and you can answer the question, and there's 10 questions like it, you'll earn a prize. So first come, first serve. Again, 10 pumpkins all over the site. Go hunting. Now we lost probably 50% of the people who were.
No, we're growing, still growing.
They're all chasing the pumpkins. So, so we've added a partnership page, updated it. You can see many of our partners here, people that we work with, both integration partner and institutional partners. And these are some of the wallets that you probably didn't know. Like many people didn't know that Voyager is actually using Celsius, for example. But all these guys provide different services. And again, Line and Bitfinex are still missing here. So we'll be updating this as well. But the point is that many of these partners have other capabilities that we don't have. So if you're looking for things that you're waiting for Celsius to deliver, you can get many of them from some of our partners. And on the Why Trust Celsius page, again, we've updated with new videos, new content. So if you're skeptical, if you don't believe in a lot of what is being said, again, you can see all of our filings. There are links to the documents. You can actually go and visit these documents and see them. Also, the articles that we think are most important to kind of convince you or others, right? If you're trying to convince your family or your friends or others that this is legit, take them to this page or send them a link to this page and share with them what and why. Okay, on the media page, a new page called events, which really shows you all the upcoming events, right? So these are all places either me or somebody else from the company is going to be attending and presenting. And as you know, I never repeat my presentation twice. So even if you saw me a week ago, you know for sure that every one of these presentations, like I did Coin Agenda yesterday, I think this one, and we announced the coinswap.org. So if you were watching it, you were one of the first in the world to know about it. Also, obviously, there are past events here. So if you miss something, there are easy links here to take you to where you need to go. So again, what other updates on the website, by the way, Ryan? Anything else I'm missing for here?
Oh, no, I don't think on the website, but
Yeah.
if you want to go over Cell Swap, that'd be great.
Yeah. So if you missed it, the news came out yesterday. Celsius expanded our partner with Chainlink. Believe it or not, Chainlink is our third or fourth most popular coin. So we love the community, love everything about the company. Really amazing set of people who are building things every day. And it's very important to understand why oracles are so critical, right? I mean, you keep reading about hacks and problems, and a lot of these has to do with price manipulation. A lot of these has to do with hackers taking advantage of this or that loophole because the operators of the platforms are either trying to save money or don't understand the importance of having really stable and reliable oracles. Oracles are, again, distributed sets of servers that deliver pricing information or data, real-time data, that is accurate because it comes as a consensus from many, many different sources, right? So that's the difference between using one data source that can be manipulated versus using many, many that have a much higher chance of being much more accurate. So CellSwap is very similar to Uniswap. The main difference is that this one is denominated in cell token, meaning when you exchange anything, you're exchanging into cell. So you want to go from cell to ETH or from ETH to cell. You're always landing on cell, and then you can go to USDC or go to anywhere else. So if you natively want to be mostly in cell token instead of mostly in ETH, like with Uniswap, everything goes back to ETH, right? ETH is the kind of like the base blockchain. So here you can basically work on any pairs. The fees are half of what you're paying on Uniswap, so 0.15% instead of 0.3. And again, this is a community effort, meaning the more participation we have here, the more the cell owners benefit. And here, unlike in Uniswap, if you want to provide liquidity, if you want to earn that 0.15%, you have to register with the platform. And so all the details are on cellswap.org. You can register to become a provider, and we're going to enable a link also so you don't have to do dual KYC. If you already did KYC with Celsius, Celsius will vouch on your behalf to CellSwap, and you'll be able to add your cell or USDC or anything else to create those pair or liquidity for the pair, just like you can do in Uniswap, right? So we hope that this will create additional use cases for Cell Token. And again, I cheer the team that put this together, and we're obviously going to support this as a community effort. I love everything they're doing. Another project that, again, completely independent from Celsius is Celsius Hub, which they use this beautiful flywheel here that kind of shows you all the different pieces. They track in real-time data, just like Celsians.com, but they chose to look at different analytics, so different data sources to give you other types of data. And all these are pieces or components of the flywheel. So if you want to know how the flywheel is doing, if you're worried about the price of sell, or you want to dig into the numbers, somebody already did all this work for you. So take advantage of it, right? Also, again, Coin Bureau, if you haven't looked at it, Coin Bureau did Guy, who is the the creator, has done a phenomenal review of Celsius. I think probably one of the best. And if you missed this episode, again, we have a link on it on our site, as well as you can just go to YouTube and do a search for Coin Bureau and watch this video, right? So also wanted to share with you the status of Celsius Network. So again, we rank number 37 here. Other sites we rank higher or lower, but last time I think we did a review, I think we were looking at 40 or 45, and before that we were 50 and 60. So even though our price is the same, right? The price is $1.30, has been around the same price for a while now. How come our rankings are going up if the price is not moving, right? And what people don't understand is that as other projects, prices go down. So a lot of the, like if you go to the top coins, and wow, where is it? And so if you go to the list itself, right, and you look at the top coins, basically what you will see, the top 100, right, is that you'll see that many projects are down 5, 10, 15%. So as they move down, Celsius basically passes them, right? Celsius jumps ahead. Again, in this case, we're number 30 something, and you can see at 37, we just crossed Maker. Why? Because Maker was down 12% last week, right? Maker is a beautiful project, has been there for a long time. Paxos, right? All of these are DeFi. All the DeFi guys are stuck right here. Compound, Aave, right? Celsius just jumped way ahead of all these guys. Why? Because we perform well during up markets and down markets and side markets, right? We're not tied to farming. We're not tied to this or that project. We make money in many different ways. And when I talked about that, when DeFi was flying high, everybody's like, Celsius, they'll never make it. I was on a panel just yesterday, that said, is CeFi over and DeFi is king? And I was laughing. I was like, first, DeFi is CeFi and CeFi is DeFi, because half of the assets on both platforms are centralized, right? USDC, centralized. Sure. USDT, centralized. Wrap BTC, which is number, I think, 11 or something right now, right? Wrap BTC, here, right? Bitcoin, number 18, is a centralized project, right? I mean, it's a BitGo. Right. So my point is that there is no DeFi or CeFi. There is who is acting in your best interest, right? And if we can continue to generate that yield and other people don't, then people just withdraw the assets and move them somewhere else, right? And we've been going up in the rankings because we've been able to continuously deliver the highest yield no matter what, during good times, during bad times. And I think now people are finally figured it out. So another article,
and that's part of the secret sauce, is that it's not just a DeFi platform that people are using. Celsius is actively going out to the market and finding these yields and returning 80% of it to the user. So it's not a passive thing. We're actively searching for that yield to deliver it to our users.
Yep, exactly. And so if you missed this article, again, this came out in the last few days. So again, self-promotion a little bit here, but you can look it up. This is Asia Tech Daily, doing a great story if you want to dig a little bit deeper. And BitBoy, if you guys like what he does, again, if you have not looked at it, I think we did a...
Hello, and welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Every day I show you how to make money in cryptocurrency. If you like money, which I know you do, go ahead and please tap that subscribe button. And
so BitBoy did a review about Celsius some time ago, and another one just recently. So again, a lot of unique content here. What we've done is all powered by the community. It's their coins, it's their income. We created an engine, a mechanism, but they're the ones who are taking most of the benefit here. So from now on, I'm just going to play clips of me talking on other shows. That's our new... No, I'm just kidding. And also wanted to play this video. A special thank you that I got, so wanted to share with you guys as well.
So you've really done something with your your experience and with your connections and network and ability to do this. So I want to say thank you for doing that, because you didn't have to. And I'm sure that you had a few struggles yourself and, continue to. So I just want to say thank you for creating this opportunity. And I hope that it rewards you with financial success and so many other types of successes, because
So again, touching people's lives, changing their life for the better. And thank you for sending these. And we, with your permission, obviously, we would love to share as many as we can. Again, if you want to join and do one of our interviews, like we shared with you in the last one and this one and so on, just reach out to me. I'll introduce you to the team, and we'll come in and do a professional video, or you can do a selfie like this one. And anything works. But the point is we do want to share the stories. This is a long video. I didn't want to take all the time, but basically, really, everybody has a story, and everybody, especially the more touching a story is, the more it's going to give motivation to other people to jump in and take charge of their financial life. And that's what we're here for, right? Because a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines, they're watching this, and they're saying, I'm not sure if it's real or not. Are there real people who are benefiting from this? Or this is just Alex and Zach promoting themselves, and they're working out of their basement or whatever, So I think it's important to tell your story from all over the world, right? You can say it in a different language. It doesn't have to be in English. Say it in your native language. We'll put a subtitle on it and share it with our community. Another piece that I think you must read, Fidelity published this Bitcoin investment thesis. You might have seen something in the news about it, but then it got buried. For some reason, Fidelity did not want to promote the fact that they are promoting Bitcoin. So it's funny, right? I mean, they write this beautiful letter. It's like 30 pages or something. And they tell all of their investors, I'm a Fidelity customer, that they need to buy some Bitcoin, or they need to have this in their portfolio, and then they hide it. So here it is. Read it at your leisure. All right. So we're back to our normal programming. And
it was also Iran that earlier this week came out and said that they're going to be doing international trade based in Bitcoin because they're locked out of the dollar.
Exactly. It's not just them. I mean, China, basically their trade is with China mostly, and a few other countries. And China said the same thing, not Bitcoin, but they want to basically everybody to trade with yuan. And I did bring some props today. So I went to the ATM machine and got a bunch of 20s. You see, like a bunch of money. It's real money. I'm not fake.
You're flexing on everyone right now, huh?
And so I want to visualize this for you, right? So basically, normally, again, you put this in the bank, and then the bank takes money from you, right? They take money when you deposit, when you withdraw, a monthly fee, no activity fee, so money just keeps flowing out, right? And with Celsius, it's the opposite. In Celsius, every week, every Monday, money is just being deposited into your account, and you look at your balance, and the balance grows. And then even the some of the interest you got, right? The interest itself gets its own interest. So it's not just the big stack that is earning, right? It's also the little stack that is getting thicker and thicker and thicker. Now, all of us, that holidays are coming. So I took some of my wife's fancy bags. She loves that. So these are bags, fancy bags. I bought her, and when I see these items, right? These are thousands of dollars bags. And when I see these items, what I see is dollars that are not working, right? And we all the guys watching the show know this experience of having your girlfriend or your wife go in and spend $700 on a dress or $2,000 on a fancy bag, and you're saying, gosh, I could put it in Celsius and make more money. And instead, all I'm going to have is this. And if I put it on some app to sell it, I'm going to get maybe 20 cents on the dollar, right? So the secret, it's a very simple lesson, right? The secret to financial independence, the secret to get to that finish line is very simple. It's just letting your money work for you, right? Is saving enough. And for example, giving your loved ones a Celsius wallet for Christmas. Instead of buying them as something that they will never use, they're just going to sit in some closet, or they're going to return and get a credit for. introduce them, teach them how to do sustainable fishing, right? Which is what we talked about before. So there's no minimum on a Celsius wallet. You can deposit $10, you can deposit $5, doesn't matter, right? And you can just continuously add during holidays or whenever you need something, you want to give somebody a special gift, you can always just transfer them any of the coins you have in your wallet, right? So it's a beautiful gift. It's a gift that keeps on giving. We pay for it every week while you are doing other things. And once in a while, you can throw a little bit more to make them even more happy. So this is my version of doing something for the holidays. All right. So we have plenty of questions, I'm sure. Zach, again, let's try to give the guys on the chat. They always complain to me that you're ignoring them. And so please give the guys on the chat access to the machine. Don't
We need to turn this into like a Joe Rogan style 3-hour podcast instead of an hour and a half to cover everybody.
Some people complained. They said it was too long. They said my podcasts are too long. I should do more short.
Can't make everyone happy.
Oh, I wanted to show what do you call it? You said you're going to show one of the videos with what we added at the bottom, that all the questions and all that stuff. Can you show that?
Oh, I don't have it pulled up yet. But do you have the button? Did you push the button today?
Not yet, no. But somebody asked me if we ever gonna raise fees, right? And I said no. And somebody else said, but everybody else is lowering their rates. Are you gonna lower rates? And I said, no. So basically, whatever somebody else is doing, we do the opposite, right? Because it's just you want to be successful, do the opposite of what everybody else does. But let me search. Let me just search for Celsius Network. Do you remember which video we did the thing on the subtitles?
On the subtitles. Oh
yeah.
No. I'll have to pull that up.
No. You sound just like my machine. No. You know you.
No.
Yeah. So it was.
What about the?
I'm sure it was
what
one
about
of
the
AMAs.
portal? The desktop portal.
No, it
was another week.
AMA. So it was. Let me see.
Where is?
Anyway, but we've added we've added to some of these videos. We've added all the Q&A right into the subtitles. So if you want to see, we have timestamps and all that stuff. So basically, you can benefit from just watching. You can see what question is being asked instead of having to listen to 2 or 3 hours worth of me talking. So that was basically what I wanted to show you.
Okay, I got it right here. Let me do it.
All right.
My screen, bada bing. There we go. So here, this was the AMA. One of our ambassadors is doing is Dudashan. He's fantastic. We help him out. We pay him a little Bitcoin here and there. And he creates all of these timestamps that makes it really easy for somebody.
At least I can see it. So I don't know. Maybe I need to.
It's showing. Yeah, it's showing. So like it's a great utility for everybody, or if you just want to see a specific question, you can see it right there.
All right, great. All right, first question.
Okay. All right. Here we go. We got
remind everyone
from Eric.
Huddle while you're getting your questions in order. You know,
be sure to huddle. I always hop in the Telegram a couple times a day and remind everyone, be sure to huddle.
We're serious about huddling, you know.
Steel hands, Alex. Steel hands. 3 years.
One-handed huddle. Here we go. Look. Yeah.
Okay. Eric's asking. I understand that a loan needs to be locked for at least 6 months. Would Celsius allow me to pay it back earlier?
You can pay at any time. Just do the math. Imagine you took a loan and you took it at 1%, and you took $1,000, right? So 1% is $10, and the next day you change your mind and you just come in and say, guys, forget it. I don't want anything to do with you guys. Here is your dollars that you gave me plus $10, and we give you back the collateral, and you can go and do anything you want, right? Because basically all we charge you is a 6 months interest. So because the interest is so low, it's not that you can't cancel the loan, it's that you just need to pay the 6 months worth of interest. But because we lowered the interest so much, the penalty or the interest you're paying is nothing, right? $10, $15. I mean, it's not a lot considering the benefit you're getting. So 3 months go by, you need to pay $5, right? And so on. So if it's half of it. But there's no lockup. We don't have any lockup, I think, on any service. Next question.
No lockups, no fees. Also, to check out the store. We're gonna get some hot designs.
Please. Yeah, sorry.
Some hot designs to the store are incoming.
Yes.
So we got
Yes.
a couple designers. Kim
and-
is doing an amazing job.
Yes, Kim is doing an amazing job, and we're adding. We're gonna sell you these shirts for $12. So the Huddle shirts, the Celsius shirts, the Banks Not Your Friends shirts, $12. Right? So we're gonna cut the price by half to make sure everybody can wear them and advertise all the services we provide. So we chopping the prices, and it's gonna be USA made. My wife is gonna make us all of these USA made shirts with best quality and half the price. So it's coming soon.
All right. A question we keep getting in the
Now that she
chat.
has money, she can afford to cut the prices.
Yeah. I can't wait for my birthday. People are asking about token support, and one that comes up all the time is VeChain and also Polkadot. If you want to go over kind of what our process is.
Yeah, sure. So look, again, a lot of people think that I have my favorites, or I sit in the basement and conspire which coins to get or not. Look, we choose coins based on demand, meaning if exchanges or institutions call us and say, I need this or I need that, then we add those coins. So we just added compound because there was demand for it. We added Uni because there was demand for it. A lot of people say, wait a second, Uni was just created. How come it jumped ahead of all these beautiful coins that are my favorites? Because there's no demand for them, right? So when and if there's demand, we will be adding them into the wallet, right? We already have 25 different blockchains. So it's not like we have technical issues or any other reasons. We have 20 tokens, right? So it has nothing to do with a lot of the conspiracy theories that you guys coming up with. Okay, like I said 100 times, we don't play favorites. We don't decide who wins, who loses. We don't back one community and don't back another, right? Our job is to serve the community and extract as much value as possible out of the institution. Sometimes the institution is the one who's telling us what they need, and then we go on to the community and say, do you have these coins? And Chainlink was a perfect example. We didn't have Chainlink for a long time. And even though the community kept asking for it, we didn't have demand. And then we had demand, we listed it, and it was a flood of Chainlink coming in, tens of millions of dollars of Chainlink. Thank you, all the Chainlink supporters. And again, we're trying to do our best to raise the rates over there, so to earn even more for you. Next.
All right. James is asking, how does security of Celsius compare to that of a hardware wallet?
So let's compare Celsius with MPC, right? We have two MPC layers, two cold storage with, let's say, BitGo or somebody else, and then to a hardware wallet, right? Let's compare all three. So I think that a hot wallet with two MPC layers is actually safer than cold storage with something like BitGo. Why? Because it's a completely different technology. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, just do a quick search, multi-party computation versus cold storage for cryptocurrencies, and just run a comparison, and you will see that cold storage is actually old technology. It's like it's the most basic thing there is, right? And there's many, many more ways that hackers can break in, because it's basically, again, you have to trust people, you have to trust facilities, you have to trust all kinds of things that could be broken. MPC is something that actually many banks are using today. A lot of your regular money, your dollars, your fiat, is secured by MPC already. It's just not crypto, right? Because the technology applies to any kind of security. It's not just for cryptocurrencies. And many governments use MPC as the underlying security that they use, right? So again, a lot of our team are ex-military guys, and We rely on stuff that we used to do to, for example, protect the country of Israel, which, again, you can't make a mistake there. You make a mistake, you get pushed into the sea, right? There's no recovery from it. So I think it's a much more reliable system. Now compare that to hardware key. So hardware keys are very safe, especially if you keep them in a physical storage like a safe or something, that makes sure that they don't get damaged, they don't get wiped with electromagnetic waves or anything like that. But again, they are removable, meaning somebody can come and grab it, and they can put a gun to your head, and you will obviously tell them what the password is, right? So there are elements that are not safe, right? And we've heard stories again and again of people who disappeared or were found dead in Mexico or other places, and they had their keys with them, right? They had their hardware keys with them, and unfortunately, like the Mellon guy that had supposedly $1 billion worth of crypto on him, and found dead, right? So all these things we don't know if there was foul play, but my point is that there's a much higher chance that will happen if you have that hardware key with you, or other people know where the hardware key is. So I'm not in any way saying that the technology isn't safe. I think the technology of keeping stuff on hardware key is safe. The question is, how do you manage it? And for a lot of people, I would say the majority of the next billion people who want to join crypto, 99% of them don't know how to manage keys, are going to screw it up, are going to make mistakes. My own kids, I gave them wallets, hardware key wallets, and unfortunately they lost either the phrase or the recovery thing or the key itself, and it's just a disaster. And you go like, didn't you understand? They're like, well, I thought you had a backup. And so if the pros can manage it, I don't think you can, right? So but for the people who really know what they're doing, it's a great vehicle. So everybody has to make their own choice. It all has to do with who you are. We're building a system for the next 7.5 billion people who join in crypto. We're not trying to solve the problem for the not your keys, not your coins clan, right? That's not who we are. We're not here to fight with those guys and say, hey, you're wrong, come and join the Celsius platform, right? We're teaching people who don't know how to fish. Next.
All right. In the chat and on the email, we get tons and tons of questions on when will U.S. users be able to earn in Cell. It's highly demanded.
Yes, it's coming very, very soon. We have legal okay from the lawyers. So that was a huge hurdle. So we got a thumbs up from the lawyers. We have contracted the party that is going to do it. We are working on the paperwork. So there's going to be, again, this is only going to be available to accredited, unfortunately, right? And you will have to hold your Cell for a year, but you will be able to earn in Cell, right? But it's coming very, very soon. So we have all of the thumbs up, all of the legalese, and we hope to launch this. Again, I don't know if it will happen this year, but it will definitely happen in the beginning of next year. But we're trying to launch this as soon as possible. But it's coming very, very quickly.
More Cell token buybacks every week.
More, exactly. More. And again, look, we have about 35% of our users are Americans. So this will be a huge boost to right now we're, I think, 46%, 47% earn and sell. Mm-hmm. So I think we will be jumping like overnight, jumping to 60 or 70% earn and sell. So we'll be buying many, many more Cell tokens every week, as many people, including me, for example, will be earning in Cell instead of earning in kind.
Nice. All right. Next question here from Chris. Are there going to be any options for Europeans to get loans denominated in euros?
Yep. So the answer is yes. We are going to offer something like 50 different currencies. So nice. Let me look here. I think I put it here somewhere. And I think it's this one. You sharing the screen?
No, can you share your screen on your end?
Oh yeah,
Click
yeah.
the
1 sec.
right below your
Basically,
video.
yeah. Basically, most of Europe will be able to get it in not just in euros but also in other native currencies, including Australia and others. So there's going to be plenty of such currencies. So this is a list of the countries where again it's 2.99%, but it's also the same countries where you'll be able to get it in local currencies. So some of them obviously have euros, but some of them have their own local currency. And on top of this is going to be other like British pound and a bunch of other countries that are not listed here. But the answer is yes, and it will go straight to your bank account, right? So and I did want to share two more charts here while we're on the screen already. So this is the number of active MetaMask wallets. So again, what we're doing with by partnering with CellSwap is basically every one of these users, right, over 1 million users, will be able. It's the same user interface, right? They'll be able to come, click, connect the Cell wallet, and basically earn additional cells. So they're basically going to get a bonus in Cell because they're trading on CellSwap. So we will be effectively giving them Cell token if they are using CellSwap to transact in and out of their favorite coins. And we will be listing additional pairs there that may not be supported on Uniswap or some of the other things. So we basically want to try to support all the coins that are in the Celsius wallet. Also, this is a great chart for those of you who are basically either millennials or Gen X's, and it's kind of showing the tendency of people to what do they use money for, right? And you can see here that basically all generations agree that paying down debt is one of the best uses for loans or how they want to invest $10,000, right? And that's really what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to give you the cheapest money that you can borrow anywhere, and really the main purpose. I know Zach wants to buy more Cell, but I'm urging all of you to first pay down all your debts. It's okay to take risk on this or that asset, but it's best to do that when you don't have any debt, not when you are leveraging yourself while you're paying 24% on your credit cards. So these are all things that lessons in life that you only learn after you've made that mistake a few times. Next question.
Right, little experience under our belts. Okay, Edwin is asking, I am a rather senior Celsian at age 75. My contemporaries are at an age that, whilst they would benefit from Celsius, it's hard for them to engage in something so unrecognizable as Bitcoin, Celsius, and stablecoins. What would you recommend for him and his senior Celsian friends?
So again, look, each person has a different situation. There's no, again, this is not financial advice, right? But I'm getting close to your age up there, and first, as we say, you have to live till 120. So our wishes for you to live all the way to full age. But if you already have a retirement plan that is either in stocks or bonds or other assets or real estate or whatever, then you can take more risk on Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you don't have a retirement plan, and then you probably should not take as much risk. And because we pay such high rates on stable coins, I would probably say at least 50% in stable coins, and then maybe another 20 or 30% in Bitcoin, and then you can put your 5 favorite other coins and put them together. So because again, these are very volatile assets. There is no, for example, talking about the elections, right? And it's next Tuesday, right? And no one knows what's going to happen. And I guarantee you that if the markets crash, if something really bad happens, there's a dispute, and these two guys are screaming at each other, and no one agrees, the markets are going to crash, and Bitcoin will crash with it, right? So, and unfortunately, again, when you're 75, you can't say, I'm just going to weather the storm. I'm just going to wait for it to pass, because it might be 5 or 10 years before it passes. So you do need to have more in dollar-denominated assets than the average person, like Zach, for example, who can basically take that much longer time horizon
Right.
and ride out the storm, because he knows that, again, there are not going to be any new Bitcoins being created. So even if a lot of people basically dump their coins, great, I'm just going to wait it out, or I'm going to average down, or I'm going to convert my USDC into Bitcoin and earn even more. Or I'm going to take some of my sell, for example, and buy Bitcoin with it, right, and so on. So each person has to make their own decision. Next question.
From the chat here, DeFi Dad was asking, why is it that only accredited investors will be able to earn sell interest? I thought the SEC allowed for tokens to be invested by anyone now.
So the SEC has not yet ruled on any of these things. They are contemplating different things. They're looking at different ideas. But today, the law is the same law that was written in 1933, I think, right? So
crazy.
So the law has not changed, and the regulators, it's really Congress that passed the laws that are supposed to protect you. It's just that back then, again, you didn't have venture capital, you didn't have all these other things, and what happened is that the system effectively prevents the people that need the most access to create this kind of wealth from accessing the system. So there is, like, the law recently allowed more people to participate, but you still need that 200,000 in income a year, which obviously most of us don't make, or with your wife 300,000, or have $1 million in liquid assets, meaning not your home, not your real estate, and so on. So unfortunately, again, we can only do what is legal. We don't want to endanger the basket that has all the eggs in it, right? All of our community, because we are trying to do something special for this or that person in the United States, and have the regulator come and slap us across the face and shut us down. So our priority number one, as always, is to return your coins, is always to earn as much as possible for you, for this community. I think we're doing a better job than anyone else in crypto. So we've got to protect that first. And then when we experiment or when we try something new, I don't know if you've seen the SEC, for example, find Abra and find a million other projects, right? Almost everybody in this business got a letter from the SEC. And Celsius, just to share the screen, again, you've seen me present to you that we filed with the SEC, Reg D with the SEC, and so on. Of why trust Celsius? So we are like the golden child right now. We're the untouchable, right? We're the guys who did everything by the book. Actually, people are copying how Celsius did it now that they're launching new projects, right? Because there's like a second wave of these. They call them IEOs, but it's the same thing, right? It's an IPO. So
it was at first exchange offering, ICOs, and then exchange offerings, and then the next thing will come out next year.
Exactly, or DeFi or whatever. But the point is that we effectively wrote the book on this, and now everybody who wants to do something similar is saying, okay, let me copy these guys and their best practice, because obviously they are not being reprimanded, fined, shut down, getting cease and desist letters and things like that. So, and let me not forget, as I do in every AMA, 0 losses, 0 contract that have not been repaid or we haven't collected interest on or whatever, and 0 margin calls, which we've issued to institutions and did not get filled on. So we have more assets than we owe all of our creditors and all of our depositors together. And again, I urge you to get anyone you're putting money with to say that publicly. It's one thing to say it to you on the phone call or whatever. If they say it publicly and they're lying, they will go to jail for fraud. So making these statements is something that is very important. And again, I wouldn't be risking my family and my my well-being by lying to you here in front of, what do we have?
830 people.
837 people, plus normally about 10 or 11,000 people watch it. So moving on, next question.
All right.
And
Ellis is asked.
wait. And this Monday, anyone proof of community, we talked about that, right? So we're gonna have 3 pieces to proof of community. The first piece is going out this Monday. So everybody who is
Nice.
patiently waited to be in the beta, and I got a lot of emails from you guys, and they're like, hey, you promised it was supposed to be up already. This Monday, you're gonna get the email. Ryan finished everything. We're testing. There's a beta test. So I think it's the first 60 or 70 people who signed up to the beta and signed the NDAs. And if you haven't signed the NDA and you want to participate, again, shoot us an email. We'll include you in this first beta. But basically, when you get your interest, you're going to get a link. When you click on that link, you'll be able to see every transaction. You'll be able to audit Celsius, triple entry, accounting, full kimono open to the first 70 people. You'll be able to forever to say, hey, I was the first guy. I was one of the first people to do that open kimono from Celsius. And we're making history here because 10, 20 years from now, every company is going to be doing this. And just like we were the first to pay interest on Bitcoin, with Bitcoin, paying in kind, and the first to pay sell, which was, again, what everybody now is doing with Uniswap and Compound and so on. And no one understood that. Everybody was like, what's the big deal? So they're paying you with some shit coin, some token that no one wants. Well, that shit coin now is worth more than the dollar you have in your pocket. Only up 2,400%, right? while almost everybody else is down for the year. So it's a very important milestone for the company because, again, for us to open the kimono, this is not just testing this week's interest. You'll be able to go back to the beginning of history of Celsius. You'll be able to go and audit the first transaction and look at everything we've ever told you and find us lying. Find anything that we've said, either on how many tokens or purchases or interest paid or assets under management. You'll be able to audit all of that, right? Because it's on the blockchain. You'll be able to see all that information. So this is an extremely important step. All the skeptics, all the people out there who are fudding Celsius or saying, it's, in one of the interviews yesterday, the guy said, he was like, I was sure you guys were a scam. This is a guy interviewing me, right? And he's like, I didn't believe you. I thought this was that, blah, 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 blah. So again, Shiran, Ryan, the team, again, dozens of people worked on this. And I'm extremely excited that it's here. You want to join, send me an email, alex@mashinsky.com, sign the NDA, and you'll be one of the first.
All right. Let's see. Robert's asking, with no lose lotteries becoming popular, do you think Celsius would ever start one of their own?
No lose lotteries. It's like jumbo shrimp, look, there are good ways to make money, and there are bad ways, right? The old joke on Wall Street is that bulls make money, bears make money, but hogs, I messed it up completely, right? Pigs,
sheep get slaughtered.
No, it's pigs go to market, hogs get slaughtered. I think that's the expression. Meaning, if you are really, really greedy, you are just going to lose your money, right? There's no such thing as free money out there, right? So we explained to you very clearly how we make money, right? And all these platforms where eventually it ends up with the rug pull, or it ends up with a fraud, or it ends up with whatever. In most cases, those people just can't explain to you how it is. So we all know in the lottery, the system is that everybody puts a little bit of money and one guy wins a lot. And there's a higher chance for you to get hit by lightning than winning any lottery in the United States. Actually, there's a higher chance for you to hit twice by lightning. Okay, and that's like 1 in a billion, okay, or 1 in several billion. There's a more chance that you'll be hit twice by lightning and survive. Then you will win the lottery. That's how impossible it is to win the lottery. Now, of course, people win because statistically and mathematically, when the prizes are high, people buy 20 tickets and they spend all their money on it, and somebody hits the jackpot. But most people obviously lose money, otherwise the system wouldn't work. So I would not invest. That is not an investment, okay? That is like just throwing money out of the window. It's like taking all this money that you got and you just throw it out of the window, okay? Here's more. Just buy lottery tickets right there, Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Next question.
The
Ellis
money
is
sticks to
asking.
me. The money sticks to the machine. It doesn't want to go. Yeah.
I'm sure. Will it ever be possible to borrow other coins as opposed to just fiat or stable coins?
Yes. So we are prepping to offer any kind of coin. You'll be able to borrow like an institution, right? So it's like going to the gym and lifting that 500-pound, weight like a pro. So again, we're going to open it gradually. We're going to be adding more and more coins, but the answer is yes. You'll be able to borrow other coins. Some jurisdictions will be restricted, but that's what we're planning. And again, you can do that also on. We are listed now on Cream. So Cream is exactly that. You'll be able to deposit, sell, and borrow other coins, and you don't even need Celsius for that. So go to Cream and either help with liquidity or start borrowing. Thank you, Cream, for adding us.
Yeah, I tried it out myself earlier this week, and I put a little bit of Ether there, and I was able to borrow Cell token against that Ether and still maintain a positive rate. It's a pretty cool system. Ingevity's asking, why do some coins not have 33% or 50% LTV options?
So if the coin is very volatile, we restrict the LTV, just like we've added 70% LTV to gold because gold is a very stable coin. So we said, okay, we're going to go, the max used to be 50. Now you can borrow 70%, meaning if you give us $10,000 worth of gold coins, we will give you $7,000 worth of dollars, and you can still hold the gold. And that is a great investment. Again, especially now before the election, I would definitely recommend to buy gold. And again, detach yourself from the dollar. So if you're worried, the 75-year-old, I think it was Robert, right? Who was the 75-year-old guy? I neglected to say you should definitely take 20 or 30%.
Edwin.
Sorry?
Edwin.
So take 20% or 30% and buy some gold with it. Pax gold or Tether gold, and that would definitely, I think, is a very, very good choice. If something bad goes with the election and you see gold crashing, buy even more because it will crash for a very short period of time. That's where everybody gets nervous, and then everybody goes like, oh my God, I need some gold because I need a safety asset, right? So definitely something that's good, and you can borrow 70% from us and still pay your credit card or pay some of your bills or help your kids or anything else. So very good investment. Next.
All right. Mark is asking, BlockFi announced a partnership with Elevated Returns to offer lending on tokenized assets. Is this something that Celsius wants to do in the future as well?
I have no idea who those people are, but I don't know many tokenized assets. I think in total there were like 3 or 4 transactions there. So we're sticking to what we are best in the world at, right? With close to $2 billion in assets. Again, second largest asset manager in the world. We are 4 or 5 times larger than Galaxy Digital, right? We are 20 times larger, no, 40 times larger than Pompiliano's company, right? That invests in projects and whatever, right? 4 times bigger than Pantera Capital, right? So all these great names, these are great companies. I'm not saying that in a way saying, oh, these are bad companies, excellent companies, right? Some of them are partners of ours, we work with them. I'm just putting things in perspective for you guys, because again, we've grown so fast that a lot of people saying, but you're so small. Well, we are the second biggest guy, out there that is managing assets, right? That has AUM. Next.
It's like we don't have this big ego, or we don't have this big awareness even, but we're this growing tsunami that's coming to the shore, and soon we're going to be a very large
Well, it's
tidal
moving
wave.
so fast. Yeah, it's moving so fast that you see the wave from far away, that tsunami wave, and you're like, look how small that wave is. And when it gets close, you're like, oh my God, that's a 200-foot wave. It's just gonna wash us.
Mhm.
But again, this is a wave that
Okay.
instead of destroying stuff, is actually helping people.
Right. Okay, Yuke is asking, Alex, how did you get all of your cell token? Did you buy them at ICO?
So when we founded Celsius, we allocated tokens to the team. So me, Nuke, Daniel, the co-founders, got our tokens during that period. I did buy some tokens afterwards as well, but most of them, I don't remember the exact allocation, but most of them, probably, I don't know, 70, 80% of them came from the ICO. But again, look, the largest by far, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times larger than me, Daniel, and Nuke put together, is Celsius. Celsius has half of all the tokens. And so if you want to know, is it a good investment or not, watch. Again, you want to know what if Warren Buffett is selling his own Berkshire Hathaway stock, then you know, right? I mean, if he's not selling his stock, then obviously he thinks it's going up. Same thing here. If you can watch the three of us, we listed right there. It's updated every week, and you can see if we're buying or selling. That's why I had to tell everybody that I gave my wife this beautiful present, because everybody's freaked out and said, 15 million cell tokens just moved from Alex's wallet. He's dumping on the community. No, guys. It's my wife's 50th birthday. I'm putting on a pedestal. She earned it. So I needed cheap shirts, T-shirts for Celsius. I had to give her 15 million tokens, Anyway.
All right. Next question from Drew. I want to completely unbank myself. How will Celsius allow me to accept my paycheck directly into crypto?
Yeah, so we're working on all those things. We're working on paycheck in. We're working on debit card out, right? Where you can, again, use it without. I saw Coinbase launched their debit card, and you have to read the fine print, because they charge you. Basically, every transaction they sell your Bitcoin or Ethereum, whatever.
Right.
And they charge you a fee. They charge you 6 or 7%. So it sounds like amazing. Look, but meanwhile, they're stealing from you on the transaction fees. So I promise you right now that we will not launch a debit card that has any fees on it. Okay? So it takes a little bit longer, but the whole point is to enable you to have no fees depositing your money, no fees while you are earning, and no fees while you're spending your money. Okay? And that's like stabbing the bank right in the heart. If you saw me, did you see me fighting with that Chase Bank sign? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe show it to them. It's on Twitter. I don't give up. I see a bank sign, I try to take it off. My wife was like, get off the wall. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to take this sign down. These banks, I mean, it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy that we're giving them our money. It's just stupid. We can only blame ourselves for having this abusive relationship in which we just continue to be abused. And we're just saying, oh, thanks for abusing me. Here's more dollars. Here, take my money.
Yeah.
Charge me fees, more fees, and more fees, and more fees.
Because that's all it's going to do. All those transactions are just going to add up to more and more fees. It's going to chip away from your wealth.
So, are we going to charge fees?
For the last time, no.
All right, that's it. You heard it from the man. Right there, sell token. That's how we make money, right? It's a win-win-win. Triple entry accounting. Win-win-win. Next question.
All right. From the chat, they're asking, how is it possible that Celsius has almost 2 billion in AUM, but the market cap is only 325 million?
So the market cap is actually much higher than that, because you take the coins that are in circulation. If you look at CoinMarketCap does not count the largest wallet that has the most cell token, which is what all the community put together. Because they deposited with Celsius, CoinMarketCap says, no, these coins came back to the company. We don't count them. They're not in circulation. Now, we all know that the coins you have in your wallet that happen to be with us because we're paying you 5% on them are in circulation. So our market cap today is something close to like 500 million. But the most important thing is that almost all companies, if you're looking at companies that manage money, like BlackRock or Blackstone, and you look at their valuation versus what they manage. So for example, Blackstone, I think, manages something like 120 billion, and the market cap of the company is maybe 20 billion. So there's a ratio between AUM and the value of the company. And actually, we are at the right ratio. Maybe we're a little bit higher, but the point is that the value of the company should be lower than the AUM you're managing. Those numbers should not match together. Now, the ratio between the two has to do with the velocity of money, with how much you're earning on that money. And Celsius is definitely earning more than almost any one of these other public companies. Definitely more than BlackRock or Merrill Lynch or all these companies that just traditional money managers, because their margins, what they can get from their counterpart is less than what Celsius is getting from our institutions. Because the assets that we have are more in demand, right? People are willing to pay us more, and then we're giving you more. Next question.
All right. From the chat, Toblerus. When Celsius lends to institutions, do they actually send the coins on chain? Who pays for those transaction fees?
Yeah, so we do, almost all of them are on chain. There are a few transactions that are not on chain, and for a variety of reasons, can't get into them, but most of them are on chain. And yes, we pay not just for those transactions, we pay for your transaction when you withdraw your coins, right? When you pull your coins out of Celsius, we pay your withdrawal fees. We pay your gas fees and so on. You don't pay any fees. Did you notice? And soon you'll be able to see in your wallet how much we paid for you since you started with Celsius. It's one of the things.
Oh, wow, cool.
It's one of the things that Ryan will show you actually in his dashboard, right? So basically, even though you have a wallet, right, on your phone, you will have a computer dashboard, right, that you can see on your computer that has all your transactions, the history, and all the stuff we talked about before. So
a desktop portal for all of those waiting for it.
Yeah, desktop portal, exactly. So we do, our average transaction is, I would say, anywhere between $5 and $10 million. So when we pay the transmission fee, we pay the same fee you pay. It's just that you move probably $2,000 and we move $20 million with the same transaction. So when you read about these whales moving giant chunks of Bitcoin, there's a very high chance they're talking about Celsius, because Celsius sometimes move 10,000 Bitcoin in one transaction, right? And everybody in the community goes, oh, some whale moved a giant amount. Yeah, we do that 20 times a day, you know? So we are the whale, you know? That's why, you know, when we used to have animals in Celsius, I got the whale and then they replaced me with a hippo. But I used to be the whale. The machine used to be the whale, you know?
And what was it earlier this week? We had the largest Bitcoin transaction ever. It was $1 billion plus in value moved with like a $3 or $4 fee.
Yeah.
Like, unreal.
And we moved several $100 million several times. I mean, I saw some of our transactions flagged sometime as like, oh, some whale is moving. Yeah, right. Okay. So if you want to know what's going on, for at least for some of them, we can tell you. Next question.
All right. Some people noticed that the rate on USDC and Ethereum, it looks like, got adjusted down. And that's part of our model. Like, that keeps us sustainable. We can't pay what we don't earn. So over-promising it will lead to insolvency over time. So us being able to adjust rates keeps us going. And that's how you know we're working in your best interest.
That's right. And again, we are still, I think, the only profitable company in this business. You've seen BlockFi publicly state, yeah, we subsidize our rates with money from marketing. Or Crypto.com saying, we now have to be a profitable company. What does it tell you? That they were not profitable until now, right? So I'm stating publicly, again, we are profitable right now as we speak. profitable company. We earn money. We earn enough money to pay all that interest and have money left over. So, and somebody here I saw in the chat was asking why institutions borrow if they can just buy the coins, right? Why would you borrow? So it's a very simple answer. Again, if you're an institution and you're dollar denominated, meaning you're running a portfolio, let's say of $10 million, right? You're a trader on this or that institution, and you buy Bitcoin and it drops, and you're trying to do arbitrage. All you try to do is say, look, Coinbase price is different than Binance. I'm just going to buy on Coinbase and sell on Binance, right? I'm going to make 2%. But right as you bought that Bitcoin, it dropped 10%. You just, in dollar terms, you just lost 10%. But if you borrowed the coins from Celsius and you just paid us interest and you did the same arbitrage and Bitcoin dropped, you still made the 2% margin, but you didn't lose the 10% because you just returned the same Bitcoin that you borrowed, right? And you just captured that delta, the difference in price between the two platforms. Next question.
Someone in the chat too was asking if they could talk to somebody or get, have a phone call and learn more about one-on-one if they're moving family assets. And I just spoke to someone yesterday that just had a lot of questions about stable coins and kind of the minutia, and spoke to him for 30 minutes and made him feel much more comfortable and get a better understanding. So that's always something I enjoy doing. I love talking about Celsius. Alex pays me to talk about Celsius for an hour and a half every Friday, and I'm very appreciative. So reach out to me, Zach at Celsius.
We are going to have, we're just setting up the call center now, but you will be able to talk to people. In the meantime, if you want to talk to any person, send us an email, app@celsius.network, and just explain what you want to do and how much you're planning to put in or whatever. And then we will assign it to a salesperson. We have corporate salespeople, we have lending salespeople, we have institutional salespeople. So tell us what you are. I'm a corporation, I'm a family office, I'm a nonprofit, I want to take a loan, I want to make interest income. And then we will send it to the right people, and we will definitely reach out to it. This is not a Uber where there's no one to talk to, okay? We have over 100 people, and we want to talk to you. That's why we do in these things. We have nothing to hide, and definitely we just can't do it with everybody, right? If you was like, okay, I'm going to put $10 into Celsius, I want to ask 100 questions, we can't do that, right? We can't occupy the resources to get this person on board, at least not yet. So right now we're kind of trying to use these resources for the institutions, corporate, family offices, and so on. So give us that information and we will respond to you. app@celsius.network. Next.
Awesome. So a couple forks are happening, one with the Flare token and then another, I guess, with Bitcoin Cash. How do these get handled when your assets are in Celsius?
Yeah, so again, the coins are lent out. Specifically with Flare, we came to an agreement on how do we account for the assets for the XRP and so on. So we know we can handle and get that out. But for many forks, we don't get the coins because the coins are out, right? And when they're out, you cannot, Celsius does not get the fork coin. So when we see something important, right, an important fork, important project, we call the coins back and we make sure that we get that fork. And we've done several fork distributions in the past. Right now we are deciding which ones we support. If one is very important to you, then let us know, and you can always just withdraw your coins if you want for sure to make sure that you get those forks. Put them into your wallet, right, hardware wallet or whatever, get the fork, then you can come back and put those coins back. Again, we don't have lockups. So if you want to pull them out because you want this or that project and you support the fork, that is the safest way to know you're going to get them.
Sure. Okay, last one here from the chat.
So just
Brad.
one announcement before I forget. So there are still people, even though we are not using BitGo now for at least 6 months, there's still people depositing coins in BitGo, meaning you are using Coinbase and you have an old withdrawal address on Coinbase, and the last time you withdrew was a year ago, and you just go in there and you send us 2,000 ETH without checking your address. As of November 1st, as of tomorrow, right? You have been warned. As of tomorrow, we will not be able to recover those coins. Why? Because we are shutting down those temporary accounts, even the ones that were basically we're no longer going to support any of the BitGo accounts, right? So if you're making that mistake, it's on you, right? You want to know what the address is, get it out of the Celsius wallet. Do not rely on memory. Do not rely on, I think it was the right address. And if you're sending a large amount, make sure you do a test first. It is worth your comfort and peace of mind not to make that mistake. Again, I see people not with us. I mean, we've managed to recover every coin, even when people made huge mistakes of sending the wrong coin to the wrong chain. We still managed to recover many of them. But I just see people who really lost their life savings because they were tired, they weren't paying attention, they pasted. They thought they cut and paste, but it was something else in memory, and they put the wrong address in. You have to understand there is no recovery on the blockchain, right? If you make a mistake, there's nothing we can do for you. So as of tomorrow, no more BitGo. And if you want to know, you don't know if this address is BitGo or not BitGo, there's only one way to verify. Don't call us. Don't ask us. We won't be able to answer that question. Go to your wallet, go to your Celsius wallet, and say, I want to deposit Bitcoin. What's the deposit address? And you will get that address. Use that fresh address to make sure, put it in Coinbase, put it in your hardware wallet, put it in MetaMask, and so on. All right, last question.
Always check public service announcement. Always check the in-app wallet.
Yes.
Never
that.
just blind deposit. Yeah.
And I make mistakes too. Okay, so as my wife will tell you.
And also, if you're on a Telegram or a social channel, we never post deposit addresses on there. We never ask you to transfer coins to any other wallet, only the one inside the app. Please do not
don't listen to
give
those
these scammers
scammers.
anything.
Exactly. Don't listen to all those scammers pretending to be Zach,
Yeah.
or Dax, or any
Right,
of
Dax,
those guys,
Zine, Johannes, everybody.
Yes.
Okay,
Or me.
so this last question from Brad. He said, I love Celsius. I'm finally out of debt. Thanks, Alex and team, for everything you are doing. Boom. That's the goal right there.
Yep. That's it. There's no questions.
That's it.
Just a thank you. That's a great way to close it. Thank you very much with a thank you. Again, we love you. We are doing great because of you. We don't forget that. Now our employees are doing great. Every employee is getting a huge bonus because we earned it, but we only earned it after we did good. And no one, I'm not going to let anyone forget. Anyone who kind of get a little cocky in Celsius, I'm like, don't forget who paid for your bonus. It's the community. We still owe them at least, 80% of what we earn. So thanks, guys. Be safe. It's going to get worse. And I'm not talking about the election. Corona is going to get worse. Stay indoors.
Yeah.
Keep your distance. Stay safe until the vaccine is out. And we will help you get to retirement. We can't help you with your health. We can only help you with your finances. Have a good one.